everyone. Hi, everyone. My name is Jules. My name is Scott. My name is
Hi, everyone. My name is Chad Peters. I'm president and CEO of Ridgeline Minerals. Ridgeline trades on the TSX Venture under RDG and the OTCQB under RDGMF. I strongly encourage you to go to our website at ridgelinemInerals.com and try to reach out to me directly, set up a meeting, hopefully connect and talk about our projects. So let's get started. Here's our disclaimer. So why Ridgeline Minerals? We are a Nevada and Idaho focused gold silver explorer. We have 5 highly prospective projects across 163 square kilometers of mineral rights in Nevada and Idaho. We have our 100% owned Salina discovery, which is silver, gold, lead, and zinc. And we have a joint venture earn-in with Nevada Gold Mines for $30 million US on our Swift project. Both of these projects are currently being drilled right now. Swift fully funded by our partners at Nevada Gold Mines, and we expect results from both of these projects in Q1 of 2023. We have a great management team, discovered a lot of gold in our days, and a very shareholder-friendly structure with 13% management ownership. Location is critical, I think, especially when you're talking about exploration. And what I'm going to focus on today is our Swift project, which is in the Cortez district of the Battle Mountain Trend, and the Salina project, which is right on the southern extension of the Carlin Trend. Our cap structure, we have 68 million shares fully diluted, 90 million fully diluted, 68 non-diluted, 13% management ownership. I myself own 5.6% of the company. We have roughly 2.5 million cash as of November 1st, and a really great mix of shareholders, which include institutional, corporate, and high net worth shareholders who've been backing us since the early days of the company. So we're going to show you Salina first. What I really want to point out with Salina is scale. This project sits right beside the Butte Valley Porphyry, which is a $33 million US joint venture with Freeport-McMoRan and Falcon Butte Minerals. This is being operated by Freeport, and I think it really shows the potential. I mean, Freeport only goes after big potential exploration projects, and Salina sits right off the edge of that. To the north of us is Nev Gold and their Limousine Butte project. They've been having a lot of success drilling oxide open pittable intercepts directly to the north of our project. So when you take a look at the project, when I mentioned scale, here's some of the things that are really exciting, I think. Right on the edge of our project here, we have 8 kilometers of continuous mineralized extent from the edge of the porphyry all the way to our Broken Egg target. This system zones all the way out, and the mineralization changes as you get farther and farther away from this porphyry, and it transitions from more base metal rich to gold rich the farther you get out towards Broken Egg. Some of the intercepts we've drilled at Chinchilla, for example, include 421 grams silver, 0.6 gold, and 8% lead zinc combined over 5 meters. And we've drilled up to 725 grams silver, 1.5 grams gold, and 2% lead zinc combined over just under 8 meters at our Juniper target. So near surface, high grade, oxide with lots of potential to grow. Here's what it looks like in 3D. Mineralization at Chinchilla outcrops at surface, continues for 1.5 kilometers down dip with lots of great intercepts, including 44 meters of 123 grams silver oxide. We drilled 2.5 kilometers down dip this year from that intercept back towards that porphyry, and we hit 3 meters of 40 grams silver, 3 grams gold, and 7% lead zinc combined in this only drill hole we drilled in this area. That's showing gold and silver increasing dramatically in grade as we drill back towards this porphyry. So lots of exploration upside. Moving over to our Swift project, this is a large joint venture with Nevada Gold Mines, $30 million US over 8 years to earn a 70% interest. Nevada Gold Mines is currently drilling right here, directly on trend of over 50 million ounces owned by Nevada Gold Mines at the Pipeline, Cortez Hills, 4 Mile, and Gold Rush deposits. And they're already hitting significant intercepts, including significant alteration in anomalous gold, according to their Investor Day presentation just a few weeks ago. So they're excited about what they're seeing. We're interested in getting these results out to our shareholders in the new year, and hopefully we have some exciting news to discuss. When you look at the project itself, really what I want to point out again, and I keep saying this, but it's scale, right? The Swift project sits directly on trend of the Gold Acres and Pipeline deposit, which is over 20 million ounces. It's only about 5 kilometers away. You look at the district itself, over 50 million ounces of combined mineralized gold resources here. And this entire trend is the main host for all the mineralization along that. Every time you get a cross-cutting fault zone, you get a 10 or 20 million ounce gold mine. Nevada Gold Mines is currently drilling here, here, and here in Q4 of 2022. Large, wide-space drill holes looking for signs of mineralization, and we hope to get results out to our shareholders starting in Q1 of 23. So lots going on with the company. Some of the near-term catalysts, as I just mentioned, is results coming out of both our Salina and our Swift projects. We have 3 other projects in the portfolio that we'll be looking to advance aside from that, and hope to have more news coming in 2023. So encourage you to reach out, set up a meeting with me. Would love to talk to you more, and appreciate your time.
Vior is a Quebec-based junior mining exploration company whose focus is gold exploration in Quebec and Nevada, and whose primary objective is to bring value to shareholders via new gold discoveries, either on its own or through partnerships with other good mining companies. We are rapidly advancing our portfolio of gold projects with a priority of sustainable development and excellent community relations with our local and regional stakeholders. Our near-term focus for value creation is centered on our flagship high-grade Belle-Terre gold project, located near the 2 main mining centers of Val-d'Or and Rouyn-Noranda in Quebec. Belle-Terre is a district-scale mining project with 37 kilometers of favorable strike within a proven high-grade gold belt that produced over 750,000 ounces of high-grade gold at 10.7 grams per ton and has multi-deposit potential. Vior's highly experienced management and technical teams are motivated to find the next high-grade economic gold deposit in the Abitibi region. Our shareholders benefit from a low-cost corporate structure where management's significant share ownership position of over 16% is fully aligned with that of shareholders' interests. Strong financial and technical partners, including Osisko Mining and several prominent Quebec-based financial and mining-savvy institutions, are supporting our team. Finally, Vior is also anchored by a strong fundamental strategy designed to provide its investors with several diversification opportunities, including exposure to multiple high-potential gold projects, all located in the top-ranked global mining jurisdictions of Quebec and Nevada.
A few reasons why Vior is unique, but first and foremost, the pivotal one is our Belle-Terre gold project, given its location and potential. So it basically surrounds an old past producing high-grade mine where only shallow and sporadic exploration has been undertaken over the last 60 years. Another huge advantage is its location in the heart of the mining industry in Quebec. So 15 months ago, when we first looked at the area, the geology with its high-grade component and the 12-kilometer strike footprint of the historic mining camp suggested us the existence of an important metallogenic system underneath, and explain why we really started being excited. So I would also highlight that as we progress on the project, the excitement remains intact. So despite the COVID crisis, your dedicated team has achieved a lot in such a short time frame by consolidating, validating historic workings and gold showings, reinterpret the whole geology of the belt, design the first 3D model of the historic mine trend, and execute our 2 first drilling programs. So these results are more and more demonstrating a unique exploration potential at Belle-Terre.
Vior is not looking to reinvent the wheel, but instead is adopting a proven exploration approach and strategy at Belle-Terre, similar to other recent success stories in the Abitibi. These recent successes include Osisko Mining at Canadian Malartic, Integra Gold at Lamaque, and most recently Wallbridge at their Fenelon project. We believe that our portfolio of rapidly advancing high-quality gold projects, with the near-term focus being on potential drill program results and catalysts at Belterre, provides investors with an excellent opportunity to position themselves in a junior explorer with a timely risk-reward investment opportunity. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and consider initiating a position in our company. Vior trades on the TSXV exchange under the ticker VIO, and in the US on the over-the-counter exchange under the ticker VIORF.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us today to learn more about Focus Graphite. My name is Kimberly Darlington. I'm a consultant in communications and investor relations for Focus Graphite, and I'm pleased to be with you today to tell you about Focus's plans to develop high-grade flake graphite projects in Quebec to supply top-quality battery-grade graphite for the green energy revolution. Focus Graphite is traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture Exchange under the symbol FMS. The world is poised at the cusp of a green energy revolution. We hear about it all the time. Renewable energy sources are replacing traditional sources of energy such as oil, coal, and gas. And one of the major shifts we're seeing is the replacement of vehicles that run on fuel to zero-emission electric vehicles, or EVs. These EVs require powerful batteries that are made of critical minerals that include lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese, and what's most important to us, graphite. Graphite makes up more than half of the battery's components, and for EV batteries to be sufficiently powerful to run vehicles, the graphite used for the battery's anode has to be high quality with a highly crystalline structure. Right now, more than 2/3 of the battery-grade graphite that is available in the world comes from China, and there are no graphite mines currently in operation in the United States. North America needs a secure source of high-purity large-flake graphite, and Focus Graphite plans to be that source. We seek to play a key role in supplying the raw materials that are needed for today's green energy revolution. Focus is currently developing 2 graphite projects in the very favorable mining jurisdiction of Quebec, Canada, where we have access to infrastructure such as roads and low-cost hydroelectricity that make remote mine sites easier and cheaper to access and operate. We've got strong government support here in Quebec, particularly for critical minerals mining projects. At Focus, we believe that we must adopt renewable, sustainable energy solutions to preserve our planet, and that mining and processing those materials that we need to do so, that are critical to the production of green energy solutions, can be achieved in a responsible way. We have to do it in a way that protects the environment and makes use of sources of clean energy. Finally, we believe that people, whether they're employees, clients, members of the communities in which we operate, or investors, are the most important factor in our success. So we strive to be open and honest with all of our stakeholders. Our flagship project is called Lac Knife. It's a 100% owned, high-grade crystalline flake graphite deposit located in the Côte-Nord district of northeastern Quebec, about 27 kilometers south of Fermont, which is a well-established mining town that serves a current couple of iron ore projects up there. We completed a feasibility study at Lac Knife in 2014, which indicated positive project economics that at the time positioned it as potentially one of the lowest cost, highest margin producers of high purity flake graphite concentrate in the world. Since then, we've been doing a lot of testing of the Lac Knife flake graphite to show its superior performance in lithium-ion batteries compared to standard commercial grades of natural and synthetic graphite. Right now, we are in the midst of updating that feasibility study. We have commissioned DRA Americas to do so. They'll be incorporating engineering upgrades that are designed to improve the environmental performance of the project, including a new tailings, waste rock, and water management system, and an all-electric mine plan using electric motors instead of combustion engines in our mobile equipment. That feasibility study is expected between now and the end of the year, so we're looking forward to having some very exciting news to share with the market and with investors in the coming weeks. We also have another project called Lac Tetepisca. It's a new discovery with the potential to become one of the biggest sources of high-quality flake graphite in North America. It's located near the Manicouagan Hydroelectric Reservoir and also in the Côte-Nord region of northeastern Quebec, 234 kilometers north of the industrial city of Baie-Comeau. It's 100% owned by Focus, accessible year-round by road from Highway 389. And in 2012, we discovered there the Manicouagan West Graphitic Corridor, or as we call it, MOGC, which is a 1 kilometer long linear northeast trending geophysical anomaly. We're working up there with Indigenous and community relations experts to develop a mutually beneficial relationship with the local Pessamit Innu community on whose Nitassinan, or traditional lands, Lac Tetapisca is located. In February of this year, we released the highlights of our maiden mineral resource estimate on the Manicouagan West Graphitic Corridor prospect. We found that the prospect hosts indicated mineral resources of 59.3 million tons, grading 10.61 graphitic carbon, so that's equivalent to 6.3 million tons of natural flake graphite in situ, and inferred mineral resources of 14.9 million tons, grading 11.06% graphitic carbon, for an estimated content of 1.6 million tons of natural flake graphite in situ. Focus can now claim that this Lac Tetapisca project holds one of the largest undeveloped natural flake graphite deposits in Quebec, and indeed in all of North America. And in fact, according to the USGS, U.S. natural graphite imports for 2021 are estimated at 53,000 tons, about 57% of which was flake and high purity flake. With 6.3 million tons of graphite in the ground indicated resources at Lac Tetapisca, Focus potentially holds sufficient flake graphite resources to meet current U.S. demand for the next 50 plus years. Our next steps at Lac Tetapisca is to analyze the results of our 2022 core drilling program, which was completed last week, completed ahead of schedule and under budget, which is no mean feat these days, with many others facing a lot of delays. We drilled a total of 74 holes representing 14,900 meters. And we included resource definition and drilling at depth on the MOGC deposit, as well as exploration drilling at the nearby West Limb and Southwest MOGC targets, which also look very interesting. So we're looking forward to getting those results from that drill program in the coming weeks and sharing those as well. So to conclude, there's lots to look forward to in the very near future for Focus Graphite. We're expecting that feasibility study at Lac Knife any day now. We are looking forward to the drill program results at Lac Tetapisca, at least getting some of those partial results as soon as possible. We have cash on hand to see us through to these next stages. And I invite you to follow us by visiting focusgraphite.com, where you can sign up for email updates. Or you can check us out on social media. We're on Facebook and LinkedIn. You can also contact me anytime at kdarlington@focusgraphite.com, KDARLINGTON@focusgraphite.com. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
G'day, I'm Adrian Fleming, the CEO of Gold Island Inc. And in the next few minutes, I want to tell you a little bit about our company. And I'm going to use 5 headings. I call them P's: properties, place, people, purse, and practicality. So let's start with properties. We have 5 properties that we optioned last year in Newfoundland. 4 of them are grassroots properties, early stage exploration, and 1 is a project called Burton with some historic work. 56 gram per ton over 2 meters is one of the best results from surface sampling. 2 drill holes, 1 ran 0.7 over 29 meters. So we are an exploration company. Our goal is to find gold, to find treasure. So the place, Newfoundland, recently re-recognized, I guess you could say, as one of Canada's underexplored areas. It's mining favorable, it's in Canada, and it has a long history of mining. There are 5 major gold deposits that have been found recently in Newfoundland. One of them, owned by Marathon Mining, is about to be developed into a mine. And what's important about these 5 projects or 5 deposits is they all belong to the orogenic family of gold deposits. And there are many of these around the world. Abitibi in Canada, Kalgoorlie in Western Australia, West Africa, and other locations. So they lie on major crustal scale faults. But more importantly, they never occur in isolation. They're always like pearls on a string. And that's why in Newfoundland, there are going to be more of these important gold discoveries made. People. I'm an Australian geologist. I've been in this business for decades or more, and I've been very fortunate to have been a part of a team, or in a number of cases, the leader of a team that has made significant discoveries. Papua New Guinea, Western Australia, Suriname in South America, Nunavut, and more recently in the Yukon, but the Yukon one doesn't count because it's not a mine yet. I'm supported by some very smart people. Paul Robinson and Steve Windle are the two senior geologists working with me in Newfoundland, and then our two advisors, Ross Sherlock, Professor of Geology at Laurentian University in Sudbury, a well-known geologist, and Sean Ryan, a prospector from the Yukon that you have probably heard of. Purse, money. You can't do anything without money. Our partners, Power One Capital, a boutique broking firm in Toronto that we're tied to by the hip, raised $7.7 million back late last year, and Eric Sprott contributed a significant proportion of that funding. We're still private. We're not listed. We've spent $3 million already in Newfoundland on good quality exploration. We're pretty happy with how it's progressing. 2 of our properties we've already abandoned because we don't think they're going to make it. At the end of this year, we'll have $4 million in the bank. That's more than enough money for us to carry out serious and effective exploration through 2023. And I hope that next year, if the market improves, that we'll list this company. So follow us closely. The last point, practicality. Exploration is a very hands-on activity. We bring a wealth of experience to this activity. We have a lot of experience. We know what to do. We know how to be pragmatic and how to keep changing our focus so that we cost-effectively spend our exploration dollars. So what's our goal? Our goal is to make a discovery, but not just a gold discovery. One that has sufficient grade and sufficient size for it to be clearly economically viable. In other words, able to be developed into a mine. And given that we do that, then there's a number of companies who actually build and operate mines who will want to acquire that deposit. They'll want to buy our company, and by doing so, all of our shareholders will be generously rewarded. So our job is to make the discovery. We're excited about where we're working, we're excited about our properties, and we think we've got a great chance of delivering treasure.
Hi, I'm Lon Shaver, Vice President with Silvercorp Metals. We're a Canadian company based in Vancouver, and we trade on the TSX and the NYSE American. We've got a market cap of approximately $500 million US. We have 3 main assets in the company. First is our existing mines. These have a 17-year track record, are low cost, and have a history of being profitable and generating free cash flow. We see growth opportunities in these mines, expecting our silver production to grow from approximately 6 million ounces in our last fiscal year to 8 million ounces in fiscal 2026. And we see further growth beyond that, and we're in the midst of expanding our milling capacity. The second asset in the company is our cash of $200 million, and we have no debt. This cash was generated from operations, and we currently pay a dividend, 2.5 cents US per share per year. But we view this cash as really the fuel for growth for the next chapter of the company, looking at targets around the world in the precious metal space, both silver and gold. The last asset that we have in the company are our investments. And the main one in this category is a 28% stake in New Pacific. This is a company with 3 very promising projects in Bolivia that we see have exciting milestones coming ahead, and we're excited to participate in this company's growth and development. To wrap up, we feel we are undervalued relative to our peers and an excellent opportunity for investors to gain exposure to the precious metal sector.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dwayne Parnham, Executive Chairman of Madison Metals. As a veteran in the mining industry with 30 plus years of experience, I've founded several successful resource-based companies, including Forces Metals, U.S. Energy, Yanni Metals, Canoe Mining, and Broadway Strategic Metals, delivering close to $1 billion in shareholder value. Throughout that time, though, I've worked mainly 22 years or more in Namibia, which is the second largest uranium supplier. At Madison Metals, our team of experienced professionals is committed to innovation and sustainability. We're forging the future of uranium production while meeting global climate action initiative standards. As I look back, though, the past 6 months, a profound period of economic change, it's amazing how much we've accomplished. We've accumulated high-value assets using innovative strategies while continuing to drive shareholder value. Madison has formed recently an exclusive strategic partnership to forward sell a portion of our uranium resources to a reputable blockchain company, a historic first of its kind. This enables us to capitalize the company on a non-dilutive basis, bringing in projected over $400 million into the treasury over the life of this contract. This is a testament to our forward-thinking and innovative approach to delivering shareholder value. Madison sees an opportunity, though, to drill over 200 million pounds of uranium to expand on this contract in Namibia, starting with our Madison North project, which contains an historic estimated of over 9 million pounds U3O8. This project is located in close proximity to Rossing and the Husab uranium mines, all with paved roads, access to power, water, all within the town, within a few kilometers. Our technical team, led by Dr. Roger Lane, formerly of Areva, together we've developed and licensed the Valencia uranium mine, which is located northeast of Rossing. Collectively, these extremely high-valued assets we've accumulated became available only after a 10-year moratorium on uranium exploration and development in Namibia. During these years, low uranium spot prices diminished investor interest to fund these exploration projects. As a result, many of these projects were abandoned, and only in the last 2 years have become available and reassigned to groups such as Madison Metals. As a result, Madison has assembled an impressive land package of mining licenses and exploration permits adjacent to and within trucking distance to the famous Rossing mine. Many of these concessions contain highly prospective advanced resources or radioactive anomalies displaying similar rock types to Rossing, however, have never received proper exploration for uranium. Madison North project, for example, contains a possible 180 million pounds of U3O8, but requires further drilling for confirmation. But more importantly, these resources around Area 1 to start with could be expanded from the initial 9 million pounds to over 17, 20 million pounds with drilling that we're starting early in next year. We've designed an initial drill program to capitalize on these resources and expand the 4.5 kilometer anomaly where we find high-grade uranium at shallow depths. In addition to, Madison has two significant opportunities on the horizon we're excited about and looking forward to acquire 90% interest in ML86 and also acquire a 25% interest in ML121. And this will form a significant land package where we envision significant upside potential for uranium development. Madison's share structure is highly attractive, and I think from a shareholder perspective, this is quite important. Currently at 43 cents a share, with approximately 19 million shares outstanding, an additional 5.2 million warrants if all are exercised, bringing $1.8 million additional into the treasury, 2.8 million options for a grand total of about 33 million shares on a fully diluted basis, and the company has no debt. Moreover, the stock exchange has approved Madison, first of its kind, to do a share buyback program. We're going to use those non-dilutive funds through our partnership agreement to buy back 940,000 shares, which will take us, over the next 12-month period. Lastly, Madison's innovative forward sales contract will deliver non-dilutive cash to the company. So all of our exploration and development initiatives going forward will be done non-dilutive to the shareholder. Thank you for your time today. We have a great future ahead, and we look forward to embarking on this incredible, groundbreaking journey. With all our partners and our shareholders, with a vision to be the fastest growing company by market capitalization.
Hi, my name is Brett Richards, and I'm the president and CEO of Goldshore Resources. So welcome to our story. I'd like to start off with our mission. Our mission is to be the leading junior mining developer and project generator in Canada. And we'll do that kind of based on our vision. And our vision is to create sustainable value for our shareholders, to inclusively respect our stakeholders and project partners, and to responsibly explore for gold opportunities. And we do that on the pillar of our values. Our 5 pillars start with respect and empathy. We value everyone and we treat everyone with dignity and professionalism. Accountability and executional excellence. Each of us is responsible for our words, our actions, and our results. Honesty and integrity. We build trust through responsible actions and honest relationships. Unity and teamwork. We achieve more when we collaborate and all work together. And our final pillar, innovation and communication. We encourage lateral thinking, new ideas and approaches, and are receptive to doing things differently. So let's talk a little bit about Goldshore Resources. We acquired the Moss Lake project from Wesdome in January 2021. It came with a 4 million ounce historic resource, but it had tremendous size and scale potential. So we quickly assembled a team, a board, advisors, and management with proven track records of success. We listed on the TSX in June 2021 under the symbol GSHR, and a subsequent listing on the OTCQB on the ticker GSHRF in December of 2021. And we became DTC eligible the month after. At the time of the IPO, we raised $25 million to support the transaction and a large 100,000 meter drill campaign. And away we went to work. So when I look for things, when everyone looks for origination of mining projects, you're on a quest for something special. And that something special has to come in a workable jurisdiction. It has to come in a country with a known mining code and proper sets of rules. It has to have size. It has to have scale. And we're all looking for generational size mining opportunities. And it has to have grade. Transponding into commerciality. So you have to look for those things and you have to find those things. The next thing I look for is doability. And that is access to infrastructure. Do you have access to power? Do you have access to building a large scale mining operation? And then you revisit the ideas that you have on the quest for something special. So let's talk about Moss Lake. Moss Lake is a series of permits and licensing. We have over 16,000 hectares in northwestern Ontario. It's about 100 kilometers west of Thunder Bay, but the project sits on the Trans-Canada Highway. We have access to international rail, international port, international airport, all 100 kilometers away, but we have people, resources, contractors, consultants, and governments all within 100 kilometers. So after a year and after 75,000 meters of drilling, we put out a current resource at Moss Lake, and it only contained Moss Lake. It did not include East Coldstream. And that resource was 4.17 million ounces at 1.1 grams per ton. But the real story here that is emerging is contained within the global resource is a high-grade shear domain of 2.2 million ounces at 2 grams. The high-grade domain will bring tremendous early mine life economics to the PEA and ultimately a PFS. So the current MRE we put out in November of 2023 contained only 40% of that 75,000 meters of drilling. So there's about 60% of the holes that are yet to still report in. And the drilling we're doing now as we have 2 rigs operational. So there will be subsequent MRE updates in 2023. To talk about what we put out in the current MRE, the deposit at Moss Lake is currently 3.5 kilometers long and about 1 kilometer wide. It sits in an 8 kilometer known mineralized trend though, and it's known because of historic drill results. There are extensions along strike that are known and need to be drilled and infilled. There are extensions at depth. There are extensions, parallel shear zones that could all fold into this project once they're drilled and infilled. So Moss Lake has generational size mining potential and is quickly becoming the next tier 1 asset. So going forward, in 2023, we plan to continue with infill drilling at Moss Lake to prepare for a PFS in 2024. We'll issue a secondary and tertiary mineral resource estimate at Moss Lake and bringing in East Coldstream, and we'll do that at the end of Q1 and the end of Q4 respectively. We'll then prepare a PEA on the Moss Lake project, and we expect to have that out by the end of Q2 in 2023. It's going to look like a small-scale phase 1 starter project. It is going to have manageable capex, a small production profile, and something that we can get started in, so we can potentially self-fund phase 2, and that would be repeating the same project or phase 3. And all of this lies within this large global resource. So there's future optionality for a low-grade processing option at Moss Lake. There's future optionality at East Coldstream. There's optionality at North Coldstream, where we have copper and cobalt hits, and there's optionality into the white metals earn-in property. So my view is we are creating.
Hello, my name is James Atkinson from Advanced United Holdings, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about our company. Advanced United brings an entirely different approach to the mining industry. We don't mine. Rather, we acquire a portfolio of mining properties, undervalued gold properties for that matter, and are increasing their value through application of modern technology. We have a growing pipeline of similar properties that we are looking to acquire. The company's goal is to create a large and comprehensive portfolio of past producing and highly promising gold exploration properties in North America, and to land bank them. The value of each property that AUHI acquires is re-engineered and evolved into peak value using the latest technology, with instruments such as 43101s, artificial intelligence, modern geophysics, and hands-on technology. So this increases the value of these properties until they are either sold or partnered for exploitation through mid-tier and major mining companies. AUHI has no intention of being a miner ourselves. I'd like to tell you about some of the mining properties that we have. The first property we'll talk about is a gold property in the Kirkland Lake area. This is called Melba. It is 15 kilometers from Kirkland Lake in the Abitibi Belt, and it's on strike from a former producing mine, the Ross mine, which produced 1.2 million ounces of gold and 1.5 million ounces of silver. It's on a major northwest trending structure between the Porcupine-Dester and Cadillac-Larder breaks. We have visible gold in 4 veins on surface in an area of outcrop of approximately 3 acres. That area is surrounded by swamp and has never really been explored outside that area. In the 1920s, there was a shaft put down on one of the main veins called the Blue Vein, and underground workings were developed on that vein, and the non-compliant 43-101 non-compliant resource of approximately 60,000 ounces was outlined in the underground workings. We have in progress a 1,500-meter drill program, which will explore some of the existing known mineralization and some areas of visible gold on surface that have not been drilled. In addition, we will do some expansion work to explore the property from the north to the north and south in the areas that were covered with swamp and weren't previously explored. The next gold property we have is called the Doyle property. This is a large property, over 3,900 hectares in the Batchewana Greenstone Belt. This has geology and mineralization which is very similar to Hemlo, based on work that's been done in the past by geologists that actually worked at Hemlo and can confidently, make that comparison. We have high-grade gold known in 3 areas on the property. 46 grams per ton over 1 meter in one area, 14 grams per ton over 1 meter in a 9-meter zone in another area, and a 7.5 grams over 1 meter in a third area. These are all three different kinds of gold mineralization. The first that I mentioned is gold in quartz veins. The second is gold in a disseminated pyrite zone, which is very similar to Hemlo. And the third is gold in a massive sulfide. We also have some occurrences on the property, weak occurrences of copper and zinc. And we are currently planning a 2,500 meter drill program on this property. Additionally, we have received a proposal from a company to acquire 20% of this property for up to $2 million. The other two gold properties we have are in South Carolina, in the what's known as the Hale Belt. This is an area where there have been 5 known mines in the past, which were mined. The first is called Landrum, and this is basically a series of quartz veins in shear zones. This was mined back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and has a preliminary, again, non-43-101 resource of approximately 68,000 ounces of gold at an average grade of 4.8 grams over a thickness of 8.2 meters average. The interesting thing about this property is we collected 4 grab samples there. All samples had gold. One sample had 115 grams per ton. The second property is called Rattlesnake, and this is in the vicinity of the former Ridgeway mine, which produced 1.5 million ounces of gold and 900,000 ounces of silver. The gold occurs in a series of alteration zones in volcanic sedimentary rocks and has a non-compliant resource of approximately 140,000 ounces of around 1 gram. The gold there is a heap leachable type, and so we'll be looking at it from that point of view. The third property we have, or another property we have, is a copper property where we've actually intersected good grade up to 1.5% copper, 4% zinc in massive sulfides. Anyway, those are a brief summary of our properties. Thank you very much for your attention.
Faraday Copper is developing the next generation of US copper mines. Our flagship property, Copper Creek in Arizona, has one of the largest undeveloped copper resources in the US, with almost 4 billion pounds of contained copper in the measured and indicated category. We are well financed to deliver on our key milestones going into 2023, and we are supported by 3 key strategic shareholders: the Lundin family, Murray Edwards, and Pierre Lassonde. We recently migrated from the CSE to the Toronto main board. This gives increased liquidity and exposure for our shareholders. Up-and-coming catalysts include the results from a recently commenced Phase 2 drilling at Copper Creek, where we have 3 aims. Firstly, to expand the open pit resource, better delineation of the high grades underground, and testing new targets. And on this point, I'm really excited. We've got over 400 breccias mapped at surface. 34 have had a drill hole or more, and only 14 are in the resource. So we've got many more to go out and evaluate, with a high probability of making new discoveries in this underexplored district. In terms of up-and-coming catalysts, we've got the results from that drill program, and we've got a PEA coming on Copper Creek, which is due in Q2 2023. And our base case is going to be looking at an initial open pit, followed by a bulk underground mine and a 30-year mine life. Compared to our peers in the US, then we are very undervalued, and we have a very compelling investment thesis, particularly as we de-risk the project and unlock value through more discoveries. To find out more, come and visit Faraday Copper.